That was a great interview.
Yeah.
We've
That
had
was
fun.
powerful.
Yeah, it's it was organic for one, but it's a lot of experiences in this room.
You know what I really like about the comedy world and how it's different from the music world? Because in music, you finish it and then you tour it. But in the comedy world, you tour it as you're finishing it.
Then you present it. Yeah,
right? So it's like you get to actually crowd test it. Kind of like how you said you were doing records back in the day for house music, right? You would make it at home, you would take it to the party.
Right.
See how they reacted, right? And I feel like artists nowadays would probably connect more if they did more of that.
Right.
Like, let the work
it's the same theory as a focus group in business.
Yeah.
Your audience is basically your focus group. So when I do a bit, that's what riddles is for. I'm playing with it. The first time I say it is on that stage, most times. And I record all my shows. That's why I always keep my camera with me. I record all my shows. Then I go back and critique it. Then you try it again and you perfect on it.
Right.
So by the time Kevin Hart gets to a special, he and his guys, the Plastic Cup Boys, are really his writers.
Yeah.
So he goes to the Improv in LA and a funny laugh factory and stuff like that. And he'll go up and do 15, 20 minutes. And they in the back with their iPads and they critiquing it.
Yeah, giving him tags.
Tagging it up.
Yeah.
And then they polish it. Then he goes out and performs it. And then they film it.
I love
That's why it was awesome that Chris Rock just did his last special live.
Yes.
He's done more than one live. That's why he messed up that Jada joke because that was a live.
Right.
Yeah, so they took it out on the replay. But yeah, he was like, besides, that movie sucked. Oh, not that movie.
Yeah.
I blew the joke. That happens. So anytime you see a special, typically they do. It's two performances blended.
Right.
So
they just wear the same outfit. And cup
same outfit. Yeah, but you can look at certain shit like the water bottle will be over here. You'll notice
really pay attention.
You'll notice continuity off sometimes if you got the eye for it. But most people you do two shows and then you combine the two. That's why Richard Pryor is live on Sunset Strip. The first one he bombed.
What?
Horribly and walked off stage. And it's a document. It's called Omit the Knowledge or something. It's a documentary where they talk about it was horrible.
Wow.
And he went back and he came back the next day, wore that same red suit. Classic.
Wow.
Classic.
Sometimes it could just be something wrong with the delivery.
Everything was off. He probably was high and he was like, and he's like, you know what, people? He had just stopped. He's like, this ain't it. And I apologize. And he walked off. And they showed it's called Omit the Logic.
Yeah, check it out.
Richard Pryor, Omit the Logic. Let me see. Matter of fact, let me see if I can you could probably just find that clip of him doing that.
I feel so lucky living in LA, being close to all the comedy places. Like I'm 5 minutes away from the Comedy Store, the Improv, like all these. Like,
everything
you can go
right
on a
there.
Tuesday for $20 and see headliners work on their next special. And if I go a couple times in a row, I get to see the same jokes evolve.
Yeah, you see it better. You see it get better.
On the special, I'm like, oh, they tagged it up or whatever. Yeah.
I hosted the weekend in Chicago, and all jokes aside, of course, when Chris Rock worked on Bigger and Blacker.
Yeah. Oh,
so he did 7 shows, and I drove him around. I had my ex-wife, she was only my wife at the time. I had her Chevy Corsica, and he wanted to go out. And it was a Thursday, the first night he got there, and I took him to Heroes. I think it was still Heroes then. It was probably before it became E2. I took him to the Chick Rigs and one other place. And it was old black people. He like, man, this is bullshit. He was like, if my girl knew I was out with these bitches, that's what he said, she'd be more mad that I'm around these ugly bitches than just take me in. But so then that's when and he told this story recently. So we in the back of the green room and he was kind of like sulking because he had already done CB4 and Saturday Night Live. Right. So now he's on his resurgence. The special what brought him back. You know what I'm saying? Because he had got let go from Saturday Night Live.
Right.
And that's the special where he said, I'm not saying he should have killed her, but I understand the OJ joke about Nicole.
Yeah.
And he did that whole set, but he was in the back. And I'm like, man, what's wrong? Because the show was sold out. It's packed out, a building around people every night. He's like, man, I said, what's wrong? He's like, shit, I'm here. Like, you here? You? And I'm like, fool, you at all jokes aside. It's sold out. What you mean you here? Like, you don't even understand the level he was at to be back. First of all, he did mainstream. He didn't do black rooms back then. You know what I'm saying? He didn't just do black clubs. So it's a black club. You know, he working on his set. He hoping it's going to do something for his life later. And he mastered that bitch. And that special was,
wow. Like
you say, to watch him do the jokes and see which jokes he kept by the time he finally did it. But this is where he told me the story I was about to tell y'all. He was telling me, he was back there like, he said, man, you ever have somebody open for you and blow it up? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, not really. I've been opening mostly for people. And so he said, there's one person just one person. I wanted him to let me open for him just one time because he made my life miserable one night. And I knew about it because I had sent my lady to that show at the Park West. Right. He let Martin Lawrence open for him at the Park West. Now this one, he coming out Saturday Night Live and CB4, he a star. Martin is hungry. This before Def Jam, right before Def Jam.
Imagine how that was.
And if y'all saw his HBO special, which they shot at the Vic, when he did that joke about the fly, I don't know if you ever seen it. And he do this thing. He at the bus stop, and it's so hilarious. It's so hilarious, dude. That there's nothing else to talk about after this joke.
You can't.
And he went out first. And let Martin destroyed it. Like he said, man, if Martin just let me open for him one time. And so I look up years later. This in the 90s when he told me that. And there's a blog where he's being interviewed, and he told that story. And I'm like, I was in the room.
Right.
I was in the room.
He was in the room.
Yeah, he told me that shit to my face.
So do you think it's like cheating if somebody's on tour and they purposely bring a weak opener?
Nah, you earn that. You know, I mean,
like if you're the headliner,
I think it's lame because you're not being challenged.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But when you toured this country and opened for this motherfucker and slept on the couch and stayed in dive hotels and finally get to headliner status, you don't want no extra obstacle. I personally have a different philosophy. I prefer for my openers to be hilarious because I want them to have a level set when I come out that I have to exceed that.
Do you usually pick openers that are in your same style of comedy, or do you get openers that are like a different genre?
Some people have situations where they don't want you talking about the same thing that they talk about because they don't.
You have a subject about marriage,
right? They don't want a guy to. If you do all relationship material, you don't want a guy to come out and do relationship before you. Right. Some people like that, like Samora, they will edit. They'll give you a couple of topics to avoid in her show because she got a joke about this or a joke about that. But you earn that as a headliner. But like, so for instance, when I was on the Kings, if one of the comedians, if I did a joke and then one of them came out and said, well, like Damon said earlier, blah, 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 I take that joke out of my set. They shouldn't have to breach that topic again because it's been brought up already.
It shouldn't be a call back from earlier.
They shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
They shouldn't. If they're the headliner, everything they want to talk about takes precedence. But everybody don't do that. But I did it because I noticed that I knew. And Bernie noticed too that with Steve, a lot of things. So, and Bernie and Steve was having that friction on that tour. I know y'all heard about that. It's been documented. He's like, man, you did the music, he took that. You did so I'm watching. He said, you ain't gonna have nothing left in a minute. He was like, this motherfucker taking everything you do, ain't he? Because he didn't like that nigga because he thought he was bogus. But I was telling them the omit the logic story. Let me find that Richard Pryor clip. But that's the thing about stand-up, like you say. Each time out, though, it ain't like a song.
Right.
Like, I can sing Joy and Pain top to bottom 1,000 times, and you would never mess it up because it's a song. But a joke, if you in the middle of the joke and you don't say this word right here, with this certain pause and timing on it, you throw off the whole damn joke.
Yeah, the timing is everything.
And the same joke, you could do it 10 times, 10 different ways, and might only get a laugh once. That's why I record. So I record my set initially, and the way I do it the first time is organic, and that's normally the funniest it ever is because it's funny to me because I'm laughing at it too, or I just thought of it. So It's organic, it's natural in the moment.
Wow. It's some magic.
But you gotta duplicate that, and that's why I use
like with the pauses and everything. Yeah,
and everything, man. It's timing. They tell you biggest thing is
comedic timing is key.
Timing is it's impact. It's just like mixing though.
Yeah.
You throw a tickle of that motherfucker, and they be like, nigga, right. You know damn well that blend don't come in. We heard that. Right. You know what I mean? And they throw you off. So yeah, timing on comedy, man, it's essential.
Is it like that? It got to go like that, or can you say
you can recover from it?
You can,
because if they haven't heard it yet, then if it flub your punchline, you can just keep talking like that wasn't even a joke and get to the next joke. That's what I do in situations like that. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it'd be a joke. I did it the same night. I did it the first time off the top, and then I tried to say what I said earlier, and they just sit there and look at me. I'm like, man, that shit was hilarious earlier. And I tell them, though, I just laugh like, man, y'all don't understand. I just wrote that today, and it was funny as fuck. Y'all slipping. But I didn't say it the same because I watched the tapes.
Raw, right.
Or the video. It ain't no damn tape.
And sometimes that's funny. You acknowledging that they're not laughing.
You have to.
And that becomes the new...
See, when you self-depreciate yourself in comedy, they love that. because everybody on edge in the comedy show because they don't want to be talked about.
Right.
Especially black people. They don't want to be the part of the joke. They don't want to be part of the show. They don't want to sit in the front.
Wow.
Don't talk to me. Just do your goddamn jokes, man.
Right.
You know. But if you talk about yourself, then they really can laugh at you. So I'm like, I fucked that up. They like, yeah, motherfucker, that was terrible. Now the joke is on you. You know,
Right.
and it takes the pressure off. And so it's a very distinct art form, man. But it's nothing like it. Like when you get up there and something like I'll be driving. Oh man, this motherfucker, that shit. I can't wait to see the stage tonight because I know this is gonna be funny. And then you say it and it works. It's like birthing a child. You know?
Wow.
Plus, I pride myself in because I go every place I go at least 9 months to a year apart. So this Arlington Improv I'm doing, I haven't done it since February 2021. So I can't go back with the same hour. Now I can do 7-8 of them jokes from that previous hour.
Right.
But the rest of it got to be new because it might be 30%, it might be 10%, it might be 20% of people that came back and they brought people to see you.
Right.
Now the flip side of it is, like in music, motherfucker wants you to sing the hits. Right? So if you come and you did this joke that was so funny the last time they saw you and you don't do it, like, man, why you
like
ain't
I was
do
asking about the roller skate.
Yeah, why you ain't do the skate joke? I get that requested all the time.
Right.
But then I'm like, you saw it. You think it's gonna be funny as it was the first time, but the surprise element is gone. But then again, in your special, your favorite special, if you watch Chappelle Killing Me Softly, you still gonna laugh when he talk about the baby. Or you gonna, even though you know it's coming, you know, it's art, but it ain't like being Frankie Beverly where you could do the same album for 30 years. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, the longest joke I've seen continue is Burt Kreischer's The Machine Story. You familiar with him?
I know the fat white guy take his shirt off a lot.
Yeah, he's been doing that joke for like 10 years. Not made a movie out of it. It's the only one that I've seen do repeat that often.
Yeah, well, there's some people that get away with it because 9 times out of 10, your audience at most 50% have seen you live.
True.
But the problem now is though you have to be selective of what you post on YouTube because if a person is going to a comedy club, let's say they never heard of you, they go online and see if you're funny first.
Now let me ask you, does that make it a bit more difficult considering that we live in this digital age? Because now your whole set got to almost be revamped because they saw it. It's like us as DJs.
Exactly.
There used to be a point where you go record shopping, let's say Friday or Saturday, and you get these records, but you DJ, let's just say you go on Friday and you DJ on Saturday. Right? Then you can't play that record next week if you playing at the same place you play.
Especially at the same and mixing and blending it with that. But then again, it's like certain songs, it's a mix that this song feel like it's gonna lead to that song. You know, especially I know what he about to do. I hope he come in with my shit. So you gotta mix up what they expect and hope for and the surprise element. But with comedy, it's different, like I said, because a song, you're gonna want to sing it 1,000 times. You still gonna want to hear that song. A joke, it ain't gonna have the same punch if you saw it. But if it's funny enough, they want to see it again.
Right.
Yeah, if it's a classic.
Yeah, so they'll bring somebody.
Jokes,
so that they saw you last time, man, he do this joke about this kid. Wait till you see the joke about the baby. Boy, that motherfucker funny as hell. And then you don't do it. They're like, why the fuck you ain't do the joke? Or you come out and people like, you know, you funny. You know, I heard all that shit before, but it's funny every time. I'm like, no, you ain't heard all my shit before because I ain't heard all this shit before.
Right. I just remember I made this up. Right.
This shit is off the top. You know what the fuck you mean you ain't heard all my shit because I ain't heard all my shit.
I ain't heard it. Right.
And I got about 2 hours worth of jokes I done forgot. People walk up to me all the time, man, you still do the joke about the skates or you still do the joke about the midget? I'm like, oh shit. I looked through it. Yeah, I forgot all about it. I have to go and watch the video to remember how it goes sometimes. Like after COVID, bruh, that was man, I have never been off stage that long in my career.
Was that now let me ask you this. It's just like basketball. Was that hard for the timing?
It was I literally couldn't remember my act. Like I would start a joke and I have to ask my wife, so how does this go and blah blah blah? Because it had been so long. And I wasn't a methodical, robotic comedian. I mean, all my jokes, I know my jokes. Like if I did it, once I started, I know where it's going because it's muscle memory.
Right.
But the muscle memory be off if you don't use the muscle.
Right.
So sometimes I start the joke and we then get lost in it, man. So I came out with a whole new set. Everything I did was COVID related and what we went through with pandemic and you know my experiences because I couldn't remember my bits. So I had to sit and watch my recordings. Of previous shows to get the timing back.
Right.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's something. Yeah, it's like they say it's like riding a bike, but
even after all these years, it's still got to work at it.
That's why Eddie won't come back, because there's too much work involved to get to the level of expectation that he has.
Right
now, he could do it because he's shown glimpses of it.
He teased it.
Yeah, he could do it.
He teased it. You think
he gonna be funny regardless, but he just don't have the timing and the hour, the set, and the work that it takes. Seinfeld. Anybody that's interested in comedy and how this works, he decided, like, he didn't have a COVID situation, but he decided to throw his book away and start from scratch, do a whole hour from scratch.
Seinfeld?
And he documented it. The DVD is called Comedian, so it should be on streaming by now. He documented himself going from club to club, like you say, starting the joke from scratch, from the book, from the page, working it out, having it flop, and until he got that whole hour. Then he did the special with the hour.
Do you write on stage? Like when you're trying new jokes, is it fully written out, or do you just have like a bullet point and then you?
Now I like to say I Jay-Z it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'll do the bullet point to myself to remember the thought.
Oh wow!
It might be like flat tire. That's it, and then you'll.
I'll show you that right now. So before my set, to program my show, what I do is I have all those jokes, but I'll bullet point them to remember to do them that night.
But you don't say them word for word. That's too much to remember.
Verbatim.
You just want to know the main idea.
So like today, for instance, on my way, I sent myself something. All right, so this is like, it's funny. This girl, she's Iranian, and we used to kick it a long time ago, and I had a flashback about this. And I had my song, my playlist, right? But out of nowhere, Computer Love came on. And we doing it, and then when he got to she said, "That's enough. I can't take this song no more. Nothing sexy about this shit." So that's why I got Computer Love during sex. She was non-black. The music is culturally sensitive, so I might write it out the first time.
Oh,
but then
you capture the inspiration for it,
right? Because you'll forget it,
and then you paint the picture.
But then when I get ready to perform something, let me see this. That's what I was about to do. I picked the wrong list.
Now, how many do you go to the table with, or does it just matter how the flow of the audience is? Like, do you go in and say, it's like us, you know, are we going to take the big bag of records? Are we going to take a few records and whatever we got?
It depends if you headline, a feature, and a hosting. So like I had to do maybe a 15-minute set. So this is that right here. Biden, Trump, gas bill, track crack, Juneteenth, January 6th, beats, drunks get home, prostate. Now, each one of them is a whole story.
Right.
Yeah. Rappers die.
You can recall them if you.
But I just have to look at this when I know. See, when I'm headlining, I'm doing an hour. I can do whatever.
Right.
So if I forget it or not, if I didn't get that joke, I didn't get to it. But if I got 15 minutes and I know I need to get in, get out, like this weekend, I'm doing 25 minutes with these guys, and I want to hit them with all the highlights. So I've been working them jokes. Yeah. Like I did a weekend.
So you about to hit them with everything.
All the motherfucking haymakers, no jabs.
Just like that?
No setups.
Yeah, that's like when I do a short DJ set.
Yeah, that's right. You come in.
I come with them. I DJed on Planet Soul for BET.
Yeah.
I could believe how fast I needed to hurry up and get to the next record.
Boom.
Like, ain't no playing the record and just standing there.
You got to get to these motherfuckers.
And waiting for people to sing along with it.
Plus, you want them to see them all. You know what I mean? So you ain't got time. So sometimes it's almost detrimental. My pace is almost detrimental. Like, if I wanted to do more time, I could let them laugh longer.
Yeah.
But I like my jokes, like, punchline per 30-second beats. You know, like, I'm EDM of comedy. I ain't trying to be up there like Chappelle. He'll lead you on a journey,
right.
And then he'll drop you off. You know,
he
like,
can wait like 5 minutes for the punchline.
Yeah, and I can do that.
Yeah.
It's their stories.
Yeah.
And but like we in a microwave society where people's attention span is 15 seconds. Like Vine videos for 15 seconds. That's the humor they expect now. They ain't trying to sit through your shit.
Have you ever done like Jimmy Kimmel or any of those?
No,
stuff like that?
The closest I got to that is Conan's people came and Deion Cole was writing for him, so he brought them to town. But I don't do late night talk show.
That was a real short, right?
Oh, Jenny Jones. That's the story I could tell you. Jenny Jones show. Jenny used to be a stand-up comedian. I don't know if y'all knew that. She's on Star Search. She's on Star Search.
Say that in the thing, man.
Yeah, all this should have been in the thing.
It's in there.
Yeah,
we got it.
But Jenny Jones was a stand-up comic on Star Search. So they had a tragic situation, and she played drums.
What? Jenny Jones?
Jenny Jones, the talk show host. She's a drummer.
You know this is a clip.
No, it's out there. It's out there. If you look it up, you'll find it. So
wow.
But that year when they were doing surprise crushes, right, on her show, it's like someone has a crush on you and we want to bring them out. You know, Springer was doing it too. And sometimes it'd be a man, you know, it'd be like a transvestite or whatever. Right. Well, this one particular episode on Jenny Jones, this guy came out and his crush was a guy, but this guy was straight. So, and they was from a rural area. They were trailer park people, you know, and the mullet full thing, right? And dude, like he played it off on the show, but he was embarrassed by that. And then he was catching hell at home. So he went to dude's trailer and killed him.
Wow.
Ooh. Yeah. So she felt so bad about it that the season after that, she didn't want to do nothing heavy. She didn't want to do nothing dramatic. She started doing makeovers. And
right.
Remember that?
Yeah, I
remember. And it was like, if I'm so hot, why am I not with a man? Or if I'm so great, why can't I get a date? But nothing dramatic. She didn't want nothing. And Springer and them, they was throwing blows on that. She wanted to be opposite of that, right? So she decided to have a season of fun. That's what she called it. So they booked me to do stand-up. They booked me to do 7 minutes. Because usually when you do a late night talk show, it's 3 to 5.
Right.
Yep. It's like 3 to 5 too.
Yeah, in and out, right? Between commercial breaks. I had 7, but the show ran long. So they came back to me, they said, all we got left is 2.5 minutes. You want to come back another day or you want to take the 2.5? I want to be on TV. Right. I got 2.5, but instead of doing my jokes, I talked about the shit that happened on the show that day.
Wow.
And she was so impressed by that because she was like, that's untested material. Can you do that? Can you do that? I said, I do it all the time. My whole shows, I'm always on my toes.
Right. Wow.
That's how I got the job with Jenny Jones.
Wow.
I ended up being on her show, and they started giving me characters. They miniaturized me, had me flying around, sitting on her shoulder and shit.
All right.
Yeah, it was all type of crazy shit. Yep.
Now, how long were you on Jenny Jones?
Maybe 2 seasons, but about 50 episodes though.
Wow,
yeah.
That's incredible.
So I think this is how I really got off that show. So they already had me, like my brother was in penitentiary, right? They used to watch the show because I was on there. So one day that little miniature character was called Lil D, and he was like a cherub, but he was like, so I had on like a ball cap to the back, Tim's, you know, my fucking muscle shirt, but a tutu, right?
But a
tutu. Right, straight up tutu. So that was pushing. And my brother, hey man, it's one thing to be a comedian, another thing to be a clown. Make sure they laughing with you, not at you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My brother was like Charlie Murphy. He like, hey, little brother, don't sell out, don't sell your soul out there, right? So I get that, but I manned him up. You know what I'm saying? The whole time, and I was roasting people the whole time. So he was a mean little angel, but they put him in a tutu, right? So, and I've been roasted by that by certain entities.
Y'all gotta look that up.
Yeah.
Look that up on YouTube.
If you find it, send it to me.
Put them shorts up, man.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
So anyway, that's how I lost the train of thought on that. Anyway, so I'm doing that's why this is how I got off the show. So now I'm such an entity, and I'm popular, and when I come out, they cheer and all that. So they had one episode, 6 segments for an hour show. Each segment, I had a different character. I was an electrician. I was a cop. I was a construction worker. Sound like village people, but it wasn't. This story is going downhill fast. But in the 6th segment, they had laid out for me a mini skirt, not a tutu, high heels, some fake breasts, and a blonde wig. I said, what's that? And they was like, well, in the 6th segment, we want you to play blah, blah, blah. I said, nah, my brother already had this talk with me. Right? Plus, I'm still a dude. I'm still in Chicago. And it was funny as one thing if I wrote it and figured out a way. Because, back then you had Shanae, you had Wanda on Living Color. So that's where they were going with it. But I'm like, that ain't my steez, right? So I turned it down. I said, I ain't going to do it. So the producer's like, come on, guys, it's funny. I said, then you do it. Next thing you know, Rude June was the new guy on Jenny Jones.
Wow.
And Tornado, where he rest in peace, was on there a lot. But I drew the line. And me and Tom Joyner had this conversation about all the great ones wear the dress. He's like, you gotta put on the dress, man. Flip Wilson, Martin Lawrence, so-and-so. I said, no, I'm from Chicago. Bernie Mac ain't put on no dress.
Right. And he wasn't gonna put on no
dress. And
I
wasn't either. Chappelle ain't put on no dress. He ain't let him do it to him. So we had this conversation on the Tom Joyner cruise because you know how they do the costume night.
Yep.
The most elaborate, he has a Hollywood costume designer come in every year and they have a theme. Like the one year I wasn't even in it there, I was still doing my 5 minutes. They were the cast of Coming to America. So they identical King Joffrey jewelry.
Wow.
Every soul was dressed just they did Boardwalk Empire.
Wow.
I don't know if you know that show, but that's the gangsters in the 30s and stuff. The big hats, the tuxes. So Jackie Reed, the news anchor, was supposed to play a character, one of them, the flopper girls with the fringes on the dress and shit, whatever. she had the flu. She didn't catch the cruise. So they was like, well, who gonna plead it? Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So somebody wisecracked, well, they the same size. Let Damon do it. And Tom was like, that's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Right? I'm like, no, the fuck it ain't. Right? So I get back there and they all laughing. I'm like, what's so funny? When I get back there, they say, well, you'll see in a minute. So I get back there.
So the joke on everybody.
Man, everybody know before I get there, right? So I get back there and they got the stuff over there. And they's like, Tom wants you to do the blah, blah, blah. Nobody says no to Tom. You know, so you Tom. Right. He's from Tom. Especially on the ship. You know, it's Tom. And Tom be getting tipsy. He was in his feelings too on the tequila and such. And so I see this right now. I had no idea to this day at that time that Tom had a partner / almost a boss. It's the Tom Joyner Morning Show. It's the Tom Joyner Foundation, Tom Joyner Cruise. Right. It's Tom Joyner. That's all I knew. Right. White guy, David Cantor.
Yep.
You know David.
Yep.
Who knew there was a big boss over Tom on the Tom Joyner Morning Show? But they were partners, and he brought him into syndication. So that gave him the authority, right? I had no idea who he was. I'd never seen him. They had him in character as one of the Boardwalk Empire. So I'm thinking they didn't recruited one of the people, the staff on the ship. Because ain't no white people on Tom Joyner that's, that I ain't met, that's the boss or no shit like that. So so Tom said, Tom top of the chain, right? So Tom said, man, you should go on do the dress, all the great ones do it, blah, blah, blah. Like, Tom, I don't feel comfortable doing that. And then the other guy, the white guy, had on the big top hat, said, sure you do, man. Go ahead and do it. Jay, you'll do it, won't you? Jay like, sure will. Jay Anthony Brown, right? And I'm like, but who the fuck? And Jay said, He said, that is the man. That is bigger boss. I said, that's Tom's boss. I'm like, Tom got a boss? Man, I couldn't. Blew your mind, huh? You know what you say? I was about to cuss him out. I'm like, first of all, I don't know who the fuck you are, but you shut the fuck up. That's the way I felt with it. Jay was like, Jay Anthony Brown, like, He shut me right down, right? So, so we have this debate, right? And I already said I wasn't doing it, but Tom's son was saying, well, he can't even do that because as soon as he brings you guys up, he's hosting in Studio B. He got to get right to his job, so he ain't got time to change. He saved me. He saved me from getting fired possibly because I was going to say no, regardless, because my father was on the ship. Yeah. And so I come out, I'm bringing him up, and Tom come out and want to tell the story. He a little tipsy though. He like, damn, he don't want to make it. He all the great ones wear the dress, blah, blah, blah. And Kathy Hughes in the audience. Radio 1, she the big boss. She was on multiple stations, right? So, so I'm trying to soft shoot and try to stifle Tom, but he looked tipsy, so he gonna say what he got to say. So he said the whole staff on the deck, right? We on stage, and Jay Anthony Brown intervened. He said, "No, what happened was Tom told Jay, if you want to take your career to here, you want to put on the dress." And Damon said, "Well, I'm cool right here." And that's when that just diffused the situation. And then I said, plus, I ain't got to do that because Bernie Mac never did. I'm from Chicago, and my daddy here, and I ain't about to come out here no miniskirt, with my friend, my daddy. Period. Right?
Now he got questions. Now
exactly.
Hey, son, can we talk?
Exactly. So I ain't raised you like that, even though I ain't raised you. Right. So afterwards, now I know who the big boss guy is, and me and my wife are walking through the promenade, and he holds court every night, at this little area, this little VIP little section, and he buys people shots, and they drink with him, and they kiss the ring, and because he's the boss. Right. So I ain't never know that. I ain't never knew they was doing that. So I'm walking past, and they were like, hey, come on, have a drink with us, So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go sit there, have a drink. His wife and my wife are talking, bonding, whatever, and she's, talking shit. Here comes... Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. Can you digitize that out here? Because this is a good story. What the fuck? So here comes Kathy Hughes, right? She is the boss of bosses. She comes up and says... I say, Miss Hughes, I never met you before. I'm Damon Williams, comedian. I do the time. She said, I know exactly who you are, and you're very good at what you do. And young man, you never have to put on a dress.
Wow.
She said, you're far too talented. You never have to put on a dress. And that just vindicated me because she, over them, she owns stations. They work for people that syndicate stations, like, the guy, David Cantor. Right. Kathy Hughes told me, you ain't never got to wear no dress. So... Wow. I ain't need her to tell me that, but and then especially, so I told Tom when he presented it to me, I'm feeling like I'm is this that Illuminati shit they tell you? Like, one day somebody gonna approach you with some shit and you gonna fail or pass. So when Tom like was really kind of adamant, he was like, man, you know, I'm telling you, put the dress on because all the great ones do it. All of them have. And I said, this feel like, you know, something that should come from like I was like, it might be one of them little Jewish fellas. I might end up, you know, having a compromise. He said, well, I'm close to that. I'm like, wow.
Did he say that?
He said that. He said, I'm the next best thing to that. I'm like, wow. Not trying to indoctrinate me into the Illuminati or nothing, but he was just saying, I got juice, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm giving you advice to what he was trying to tell you. But still, I'm like, I guess I failed. So Riddle's Comedy Club, I'll see you this weekend. Because I still ain't put on that damn dress.
Right. I get that.
That for a split second, did you think about putting that dress on? Not even.
I already been tested by that for a TV show. I'm definitely not gonna do it for a cruise.
For a TV show?
Yeah, the Jenny Jones show.
That
was before that. They'd already tested me. You know, they wanted me to do it. This is one of the executive producers came to me and said, you know, it's funny, man. We want you to do it. We understand you have a problem with the dress. I said, well, then you do it. It's so funny.
Saying it explicitly, not metaphorically, but like there's an actual dress in the
It was right there. Yeah, I don't know if you heard at the beginning of the story. I had 6 different characters, and the 6th character was a blonde wig, fake boobs, high heels, and a leopard miniskirt.
Because I've always heard stories of people say that like at a certain level they make you wear dresses, but this was literal, like a request.
And this was when I was making union scale, so I definitely wasn't gonna put on a dress for that. Now Spielberg, Spielberg come and say, well, if you want to be in the movie, you gotta wear a dress. I'm like, E.T. phone home. Hey. I'll find a way to man it up. I'm gonna keep a shadow or something. I mean, like Martin's mama. Like Martin's mama on Martin.
Martin.
Yeah. She keep the whole Martin right there. Hey, baby. But you know, and it depends on the circumstances and settings, you know.
That's low down, Dan. So you do it for Spielberg, huh?
Hey,
you gotta go.
Let me explain to you. Box office smash versus 22 Negroes who are in debt for being on a boat. Right. What would you do? Right. I was in the room when they asked me. I was in the room when I saw them ask the dude to put on the dress. You understand? Right. He was in the room.
Wow.
That's too much. Oh,
way too much.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I figure we got enough. This is part 1. We'll recap this.
We got this is good stuff.
Yeah, we'll recap.
This is good stuff.
I wish I did. I guess we went. But you been recording the whole time?
Yeah.
Because I was telling that.
I had stopped it for a second, but it only.
That story I told about Chris Rock and Martin at the Park West.
Oh, yeah,
we should have got that. Yeah.
You got that?
Yeah, good. It's somewhere. I got it. My phone probably stopped by now though.
You want me to cut it now?
We got to do a sign off, right? Yeah, we got to do something.
That's what he was saying.
Yeah,
some type of.
What was the outro?
He was like,
all right.
S&S podcast, something like that. You introduced the guest again.
Oh, well, I should do that.
Oh. We definitely got to do that.
Yeah. What's up, guys? How you doing? It's the S&S Chicago podcast. We had a special.
You can't come in like radio personality. You got to be like, that ain't going to match nothing we talked about today. Hey, so man, you tell man that was a beautiful thing. We brothers in Chicago do what it do. Hey, what's up, guys? You're watching the S&S. He ain't going to be able to blend that shit. Right. So man, this has been a lot of fun, man. I appreciate y'all having me in here, man.
That's fantastic, David. Yeah. Thank you for coming. Man, I mean, the stories are incredible. I'm sure people are going to laugh, and some of them gonna cry when they hear their name pop up. But
you gonna get some insight. We at the S&S, man. You get what you get.
We get what you get.
We say what we say. S&S.
It is what it is. But no, we appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I thought this was over. And we appreciate you guys for tuning in.
We keep it real right here.
We keep it real right here at S&S. What you gotta say, Steve? Something?
I ain't got nothing.
Say something.
I ain't got nothing.
Say something to
Steve's a
people.
guy of
hey, people.
Yeah.
Man.
A few words and big action. You know,
sometimes that's
all
right.
Man. Did you ever sing or did you ever have vocals on any of your tracks?
Yeah, I sang.
Oh, bro.
Yeah. When I had the Jam Silk there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking back in the Jam Silk days.
Greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes.
Yeah.
You name it.
They stole this shit, man. They stole this shit. Yeah,
I sang the original Queen to Be too.
Oh, okay. Keep all that audio.
Keep. Hey. Is it on?
I want you to put it in the mix. I'm like, I was in the room when they got that soundbite of that horrible Queen to Be.
Hey, but you know Steve a pro at it. He mess around and make it sound good. Hey, you mess around, be like,
I'll fix that shit.
Right.
That's from the same.
Right. Oh, that's what happened with Shantae Savage, huh? You just
No, she was for real.
She is dead vocals for sure. A beast. That was just the first name that came to mind.
What you think about that? You think she was Toni Braxton before Toni Braxton?
She just didn't cut her hair, right? Did she have a short haircut too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Well, you know, she is the first Shantae Savage, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. I know they compare her. But you're absolutely right.
She was influenced by Anita Baker too.
Yeah, that was that era.
And then Anita Baker was gone, so that was a nice little void for a second.
So everybody was coming in trying to sound sleepy when they sing.
Yeah.
So they can get that Anita Baker move. And Tony came in, I want the same old love. They was both doing Al Jarreau.
Not Al Jarreau. Hey, Al Jarreau was cold.
Hey, he's
you can't front on
he's the first Bobby McFerrin. How about that?
No, he was the first Al
Jarreau. Yeah, I can go deep with the music. Music is my thing, man. To be honest, I love music. And so that's one of the kind of bonds.
Skit, like just surrounded on top of music, or do you just keep it current events?
No, I incorporate music. Like I got some R. Kelly material that required me to do some of his songs. You know,
I mean, we are in Olympia Fields, huh?
Hey man, we right around. We in ground zero of the bullshit. It's still residue. You ride 3 blocks down, you mess around and get somebody pregnant.
Right. Hey, you can shortcut through where
I already know. I ride my bike around here.
Oh, so you know.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I know the house that you said the gate is right up there. Yeah.
And they used to park the bus right there where you used to do your comedy
Holiday in Madison. Yeah, you sign your waiver if you was 13 and you go down to the party. Hey man, it is what it is.
Hey man, we can't use none of this.
Yeah, you can. Now, if you gonna keep it real, keep it real. Now,
blow this
these
up.
are jokes. Rob heard my jokes. He know I get down. One time, tell you. So when he first had the first accusation, since we want another story, we rolling. All right.
Yeah, we rolling.
Everybody had R. Kelly jokes when the first story broke, right? So on my Comic View, I did an R. Kelly joke, right? And I was like, y'all remember, I'll tell the joke right now because it's just appropriate. So I was like, y'all notice R. Kelly, all his songs, he talk about sex? I'm doing it the voice I had back then too. But he never talk about using no condom. Eventually, he gonna be singing some different songs. First I had a smile, now I wear a frown. Every time I pee, I make the ooh-ah sound. So that was one of my first Comic View jokes, right? So fast forward. What's the little video director, the Billy something, whatever his name is. He was doing a video with R. Kelly and the Isley Brothers. The song is What Would You Do? Mm-hmm. Okay, and we shot it up north. What would you do if I put this money in your hand? And Mr. Big, right? So they had henchmen for Mr. Big and they had henchmen for R. Kelly. So since I was wearing black and R. Kelly had on black, I was one of the R. Kelly henchmen, right? Mm-hmm. So now this is after Comic View. And of course he saw it because 94 Comic View was blazing, right? So he come over there, he said, blah, 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 dude. He said, okay, you want to be in my video, right? I'm like, no, he said, man, listen, it's all entertainment. And he put me right next to him in that video after I had roasted him on Comic View. So he understand we do these jokes, you know what I'm saying? And he understand that those were facts. And I know the whole squad, the Shy out there, y'all know how to find me and everything. We ain't tripping on Rob. We love the brother, just get caught up in some things. And like I like to say on stage, them girls gonna have sex eventually. I mean, I'm just saying. No, I say this on stage. These are the views of me and not S&S or their sponsors. Right? Because people out there watching were also having sex at 15. I know I was. We wasn't in no mansion either. We talking about the mansion. We was under a porch. I was doing the oochie coochie downstairs trying to sneak my mama. At least I ain't getting no studio time. I ain't getting no bus ride. Right? I'm just saying, man. Circumstances.
So you had stuff to offer, huh?
Hey, man, don't get in it. Don't incriminate yourself. Let me just do the joke.
Okay.
You be like, yeah, he did. Right. And then all that show is when you said that.
Then I start getting death threats.
Yeah, and sponsors pull it out on you like John Morant. Anyway, Well, it is goof ass. Don't get me started. We could do another hour on current events.
So that's a current event. Huh?
It'll be current, or it'll be something to look back on when y'all see this.
What you think about that?
I think Morant is French for moron because you can't get caught with a gun on live and then repent and then go to treatment and then say I've been repented and then pull out your gun on live. Have a knife. Get a knife, John. Right. A stick, a bat.
Blackjack, anything.
Man, a nail file.
Some nunchucks.
Karate sticks in the hood. Nunchucks if you know the proper terminology. Yeah, get something else, man. Get all them hanger-oners to carry the heat. You ain't got to be the thug when you got a squad. I'm tell you somebody who moved like that since we talking. All right. Floyd Mayweather. Y'all see his big security guards, right? He got the hugest dudes around him at all times. But in the party, I did his birthday twice. The first time I was booked. The second time I went because I heard about it, and I drove up there in a blizzard in a little BMW in the snow, and got there. And when he saw I was there, he paid me for coming because he's like, a dude came. Who booked him? They said he just came. He said, and he threw me like a stack because he could keep cash. Threw me a stack. But now we at the after party. At the after party, some brothers come up to me like, man, you funny dude, we from Chicago, blah, blah, blah. He said, yeah, we all vice lords from the west side. We here with Floyd, but don't nobody know. So he have people in dip that ain't his regular security.
Wow.
Yeah. I should have probably said, don't put that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Try them if you want to. It's some VLs gonna get into your head. Yeah, run that. It's all right. It's cool. But just all security ain't security, what I'm trying to tell you. So
be easy. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
You can run up if you want to.
Man, it was crazy.
Floyd actually super cool and real regular.
Super down
he's
to
way
earth,
more
man.
regular than people think.
You would have. You think he know he a salesman and marketer. All that yapping, that's the seal to fight. But when you meet Floyd one-on-one, because the first time I met him, he was very gracious, very humble, and I was booked, like I said, Ricky Smiley had brought me to this show. This time, Sid was doing the show, and I know Sid's people, so I heard they was right. It's Grand Rapids, his hometown. Right. I'm like, man, I'm coming. They said, come on, I don't want to go up, do guest spot, whatever. So they said, you can host. So I ended up hosting the event, and it was in like this arena, and then afterwards we had the party. And it was so funny, though. So that's when he had them 24/7 cameras following him. So this how cool he is. So now I already did my thing. He already gave me the money for coming for volunteering. So we in the party, and that's after I talked to them cats. And them cameras over there, and they're like, they doing, I said, hey, champ, I said, I appreciate everything you did, and I'm a big fan, but it would mean a lot to me in my career if I can get on them cameras. Because it was HBO or Showtime, whichever one was following them, right? He said, no problem. Came, grabbed me, right? This bad, funny dude. He did my birthday, gave me an endorsement, hugged me up. Like I still got the pictures. They all on my Instagram. I got pictures for everything I talked about. I can back it up. If you go on my Facebook, it's a thing called Celeb Photos, a whole retrospective of a lot of these stories. But while I'm there, right, here comes Sid the Entertainer, right? And Sid came and started shadow boxing right in front of me. I was like, Sid, you already said, let me get this camera time. Right. But it turned out they never even used the footage for the party. But I'm like, Sid, you don't need this. I couldn't say it, but I'm like, move. I just asked for this little 2 seconds of camera. Here comes Sid. Hey, chill, what up, baby boy? I'm like, ah. So if you're an editor, who you gonna show? Him saying this guy you don't know is funny, or Cedric the Entertainer? So many stories, man.
Wow. That's unreal.
But Floyd immediately, oh, no, say less. Grabbed me, man, took me up to the camera, blah, blah, blah. It's my man, yada, yada. He just tore it up tonight, yada, yada. See,
he was just riding a bike down Ocean Drive just cuz.
Oh, yeah.
He was just chilling.
His squad, they ride bicycles all the time. And they roller skate. Yep.
Unreal. I was blown away. He just stopped.
Yeah, you see him,
Kicked it for a minute. Man, what y'all on?
Right.
And I'm just out here getting my workout.
But I bet you one thing. It was a sniper
on the roof.
Yes, a Vice Lord sniper up there. Say something if you want to. Do up the VL.
Gee whiz. Yeah. Because he had a team.
Oh, it's a team.
He had a team. Yeah. Now look, I thought those was his workout buddies. No, them ain't his workout buddies.
You ain't gonna hurt the money. What you ain't gonna do.
You ain't gonna play with that.
You ain't gonna hurt the money, not in that squad.
Gee whiz. This good stuff though, man.
Yeah.
We appreciate you doing this, Damon.
All right, well, I'm sure my wife don't think I'm still at the podcast. I thought you said that was at 4 o'clock.
Right.
I got a lot of stories, man.
Yeah, I got stuff to dizzle.
Shit,
We gotta get a picture.
Stay seated though. Let them take it over there.
No, stay seated.
While we sit. Yeah, so we can get to sit down at the.
Matter of fact, she probably hit me on that phone.
If you guys want to get closer,
Yeah. Damon, get that cup in there.
My bad.
Yeah, throw that cup in.
Yeah, branding,
Yeah, got throw
product placement.
All right, here we go. First shots. And 3, 2, 1. A little tighter. And here we go. 3, 2, 1.
And then do something candid, like we was chopping it up, like instead of you talking, because like when you join in with your radio voice, and I was like, man, you can't be joining in with your radio voice. You gotta
You're right.
He went from so God, man, this is really good tattoo, man. Hey, how you doing, people? Yeah, so
Unbelievable.
he jumped right in with the radio voice.
Hold on. I gotta get one of my camera black for. You just get
right.
one
We
with
don't trust
somebody
you to
else.
send it.
No, not with somebody else's camera. Now they wait. Let me get a flash for him because I don't want.
You think we need it?
There you go.
About to make our heads about to be glowing on that picture.
Yeah, no flash on that.
Oh yeah. You might want to turn. Wait, let's see.
It's cool. He got it.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's look up one.
Mm-hmm.
You see it at the top. Oh, brother.
Me too.
Hey, he got the cup.
Team Android, yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we needed that flash, huh?
Give it to them, man. Make them want to watch. You post pictures, then they be like, man, I'm going to watch that episode. They was having a ball. They going to be like, they watch the whole shit like, that shit never even happened in the damn.
Right. I wonder what they know.
Right. When they laugh, they didn't laugh like that.
Where can I get a cup? It's always
Definitely need to get that cup. Same cup. How they do that?